Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Basement Card Collector. Today's video is going to be a club video, a set video if you will, focusing on the very exclusive club in Major League Baseball, the 500 Home Run Club. This is a very large number, of course, 500 home runs. And I remember as a child, I had most of the club members' home run totals memorized. I was kind of weird like that, but I knew 714 is Hank Aaron, 755 is Hank Aaron, 714 is Babe Ruth. Just those numbers were just kind of stuck in my head as I was a youngster reading the backs of baseball cards. And so I'm going to try and show every player in this club. Did you know how many members are in the 500 Home Run Club? The answer is 28. That's it. 28 Major League players, current and past, make up this club. Did you know how many professional baseball players have played in the MLB? I looked that up too. I was just curious what the percentage would be. As of the end of this season in 2022, 20,272 Major League players have played, with only 28 getting into that 500 Home Run Club. Only 28 out of almost 20, just a little over 20,000 players in this club. So I thought, I'm going to see if I can find one card of each player in that club, and I'm going to show it on this video. And I have them in order of 500 and up. So we're going to set this right here. Getting into the list, I actually have two honorable mention players that were so close. They're in a tie with 493 home runs. How about a guy named Lou Gehrig? I think this is a 61 Fleer. I don't quite have any actual back in the day Lou Gehrig cards, but this is my oldest one I have. It's in pretty good shape. 493 home runs, and of course his career was cut way short, but was just a beast, and he was just almost in the club. Maybe some of the guys that we're going to mention here in a minute can throw him a few extra, but 493 home runs, and tied with Lou Gehrig, Mr. Fred McGriff, 493 home runs. Here's his 86 Donruss rated rookie. And don't forget, he also wore the Cubby jersey there near the end of his career. But Fred McGriff and Lou Gehrig tied at 493 home runs. Honorable mention. Let's get into 28th place, 504 home runs, Mr. Eddie Murray. Great card, 78 tops. Actually, I just picked this up at the card show the other day. 504 home runs. Right in front of Eddie Murray in 27th place is Miguel Cabrera. Technically, he just finished up the season. He is at 507 home runs. Here's his rookie tops card back from 04. Pretty young looking Miggy right there. Miguel Cabrera. Then comes Mr. Gary Sheffield, 509 home runs. There's the 89 Upper Deck, and then I also have the 89 Topps Glossy, the Tiffany. So two cool Gary Sheffield 89 rookies. Gary Sheffield. Then comes, this guy was the hardest guy I could find, Mel Ott. 511 home runs, and I have nothing on him other than a couple of these TCMA cards. 511 home runs, and he was, obviously he played way back in the way back machine, but these are my two Mel Ott cards. Nothing too great, but that's how I have my 500 home run clubber. Tied next with 512 home runs, my man Big Ernie Banks, Chicago Cubs, 512, and the Braves star Eddie Matthews, third baseman for the Braves, 512 home runs. I also have an Ernie autograph back there. We're gonna leave Ernie right there on top. Moving along into a tie for 20th place are three players, pretty well known. This is my my 73 Willie McCovey. Not in the greatest shape, but I bought it just for $1. You can see there. Willie McCovey, 521 home runs. He is tied with another great Mr. Ted Williams, 521 home runs as well. And one of my favorite players ever, my man, Big Frank Thomas, in this super sweet slab from 1990 Leaf. Great card, and I've had it in this case since then. I was super lucky to get it, and we're going to leave that there as well. Put Big Frank back there. Moving on into 19th place. Also very hard for me to find a card of this guy. Had to go back to that Baseball's Greatest set again. Mr. Jimmy Fox, 534 home runs. Just a cool old photo of the greats from the past. Put him right here, Mr. Jimmy Fox. Into 18th place. I have a couple cards here of this. And again, I would like to show you my Mickey Mantle 52 tops, but I don't have one. So what I do have is what I remember seeing of him when I was just starting collecting. That's just a look of a hitter, man. Look at that guy. Here's my 51 Bowman. Oh no, never mind. That's my 89 Bowman photoed of the classic card. And then here's what we're gonna put down. This just cool. I think it's a 98 Fleer. Yeah, 98 Fleer. They put the Mick back in some sets there, so we're gonna put Mickey down here. 536 home runs. What about the slugging first baseman just bumped into the Hall of Fame, Mr. David Ortiz? He's coming in at 17th place, 541 bombs. Just inducted here, and again, seeing him in a Twins uniform just looks kind of wrong, but that's what he is, Mr. David Ortiz. Moving on into 16th place, my oldest card of this player, 548 home runs, Mr. Mike Schmidt. This is my earliest Mike Schmidt card I had, a 76 tops, 548 home runs. I thought this is a pretty cool card. In the 15th place, 555 home runs out of this guy. This is a very young looking Manny Ramirez, minor league card. Here he's playing for the Kinston Indians. Just a youngster. This is a second year minor league card. Look how young he looks. That guy's gonna go on and hit 555 bombs. Mr. Manny Ramirez. I couldn't pick one of this guy, so I found my 78 top set, Mr. Reggie Jackson. That's the card I think of when I think of Reggie Jackson now. Just remember that being so cool, hitting the home runs in the World Series, and then again the record breaker for, again, home runs in a World Series. But that 78 card, that base card is just a classic, just an All-American baseball card. That red, white, and blue, 563 home runs for Mr. Reggie Jackson. Another Cubby coming in at 13th place. This guy, 569 home runs, 569. Rafi Palmeiro. And I grabbed some cards. They are beat to tar. Here's a Future Star, which is one of my favorite looking cards. There's a rated rookie, also classic. And the rookies, which I just picked this up not too long ago also. Just not too long ago, but another Cubby. Moving into 12th place, 573 bombs. And again, this is my Harmon Killebrew. Nothing too special, an in-action card. But again, I don't have many of that year, so I picked it up for $1 very, very quickly. Mr. Harmon Killebrew in 12th place. Moving into 11th place, 583 home runs. Mr. Mark McGwire on his 85 Topps USA card. And actually, I know this card number because of a YouTube channel, 401. So Mark McGwire, the USA card, that's my only copy I have of that. Super pumped to have that. Mark McGwire. Now we're getting into the top 10, folks. The top 10 home run hitters of all time. Number 10, a guy named Frank Robinson. Super great player, and I wish I had something better to show off of his, but just have a Fleer Greats card. Reds, Orioles, MVP in both leagues, 586 home runs for this big slugger. Let's bring down the top 10 here. Frank Robinson in 10th place. Number 9. I have two versions of Mr. 609 home run, Mr. Sammy Sosa. Here he is on the 89 Donruss baseball bests. Young slugger for the Rangers, and another Cubby popping into the list, Mr. Sammy Sosa, 609 home runs. The 600 home run club now we're heading into. Speaking of 600 home runs, number 8, Jim Thome. Look at this guy. Just looks like a guy that's going to stick around for a long, long time and keep hitting the home runs. 612. My goodness, that's a big number. I have a couple cards of this next guy, number 7 in 7th place, 630 home runs. And I just have a bunch of these like I'm sure you do. Mr. Ken Griffey Jr. Grab the Fleer. Again, the baseball's best. Look at that rookie for rated rookie classic, but the iconic card for me collecting during my collecting days, this 89 Upper Deck for sure. Mr. Ken Griffey Jr. And moving on into 6th place, 660 home runs. And again, that's one of those numbers I had memorized when I was a kid. Mr. Willie Mays. I don't know much about this card other than it's my oldest Willie Mays card. I don't know what that is. If you guys know this, it looks to be signed. I can't imagine that's the thing, but it has that perforated edge. And I don't really know what to make of that, but it's my Willie Mays, I guess my oldest Willie Mays for sure. Is it really old? I don't know. Willie Mays, we get into the just almost 696 home runs. Mr. A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, and I have this Topps card, this trio. Look at the three people. A-Rod, Ortiz, and Manny, and the 05 home run leaders, and all three of them made the 500 home run club. I thought that was pretty cool. But the coolest Griffey A-Rod card I have, is this Wave of the Future 94 Flair for you youngsters. Flair. It was kind of a big new product back in the day. That's the A-Rod number 696. 696 home runs. Moving on into the 700 club. He just joined the club a few weeks ago. Mr. Albert Pujols. Here I got the Topps Traded rookie, super cool. Just a great looking card. Here he is, the youngster. Here he's got zero home runs. So he hasn't hit the big leagues yet, and now I like it that he went back to the Cardinals there to finish up, but that's how he, there's Mr. Albert. And in 3rd place, a guy named Mr. Babe Ruth. And again, I don't have any actual Babe Ruth cards, but this is one of those old TCMA cards, 1987. But again, that 714 has just been in my brain ingrained forever. Mr. Babe Ruth, Mr. 1 and 2, number 1, number 2. 2nd place with 755 home runs, Mr. Hank Aaron. And again, all I have of his playing days are some home run leader cards. Here's an all-star card. Him and Dick Allen, and there's a home run leader in that 72, Mr. Willie Mays. Lee May is who was on that card with him, Hank Aaron. And the number 1 player in the records book with 762 home runs, Mr. Barry Bonds. And so I grabbed the classic 87 Topps. It's just one of my favorite looking cards. Love that wood. Love how the yellow and brown match up. 87 Topps. And I grabbed another pretty cool one, the 86, the rookies. Love that hat. I mean, come on, look at that hat. That hat alone is pretty sweet. And then I had an 86 classic, just some kind of rando Bonds rookie card too. So there you go. This 500 home run club gets up into the 762 home runs amongst on the leaderboard. So there you have it. That's the 28 player 500 home run club. Only 28 people in the history of MLB have made this club. So If you stuck around this long, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.